Welcome back to episode 14, another hat-free episode, brought to you by none other than us. Your midweek sad boy update.
Yeah, and my no hair have an ass.
Yeah.
Head. I also don't have hair on my ass.
That's okay. You know, it's fine.
Do you?
Huh?
Do you?
I'm a very hairy individual, man.
Yeah, I
can't
actually
hide
do
anything.
have hair all over my ass. I'm
Like
not even gonna try
people
and lie.
just like looking at me in public are like, that man has hair everywhere.
He's got dingleberries.
So I mean, hey, it's it's a thing. But yeah, episode 14, episode 13 was a great time. You guys seem to love that one, and I definitely appreciate it. We appreciate it
As always.
As always, So thank you again for all the continued support. That's why we continue to do this.
Yeah, if you stop listening, we'll shut up. So if you keep listening,
well, let's not give them any ideas.
No, hey, scratch that from the record.
Hey, yeah, cut that.
Quick update. I did my homework. I watched the movie.
Just like high school, I didn't do my homework.
Was not good. It was, I mean, it's a very lackluster Tom Cruise movie. He doesn't really do a lot of like action sequences. And spoilers, he ends up saving the people. But like, you don't know what that means until you watch it. But he saves the people, and good on him. It is not nearly as cool as I thought it was when I saw it when I was like 12 or whatever.
It's really funny because RC texted me after he listened to the episode, and he's like, Jim totally butchered the plot to that movie.
Yeah, so there's no time travel. However, I was right.
Wait, how is there no time travel? That was the part that had me interested.
Okay, so let me tell you how it works. So basically, there are these people. They I forget what they're called. I'm just going to call them prophets. The prophets predict a crime because they see them in their dreams.
Okay,
and they don't really explain it, but there's this weird system that drops out like a wooden ball, and it's got someone's name etched on it. And there's two wooden balls that come out after every one of these dreams that the prophet has. One ball is the victim, and the other is who commits the crime. And again, they don't really touch on it on how they figure it out, but they call it like the horizon time is like the time between the moment the prophets tell you that the crime's going to happen and then when the crime happens. So they have to figure out between point A and point B where, how, and how to stop it. And long story short, Tom Cruise stops a bunch of crimes, but then he gets accused of a crime. But
twist.
Turns out he was actually preventing a crime, and the prophet saw, they thought he was doing, it was a whole thing. The movie was not good.
It doesn't sound as cool as time travel.
Yeah.
The original plot that you gave me sounds way cooler.
Way cooler.
That still sounds remotely interesting.
It was until it wasn't.
Oh.
So,
well,
I mean, if you like Tom Cruise, it's like, I don't know, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't great. It wasn't shitty. It was, I give it 1 fist up, not 2 fists up.
Not 2 fist up. So I can't look at Tom Cruise
and not see the center tooth?
Yeah.
Because his one tooth is in the center of his face?
Yeah, like his tooth like literally is like this.
Yeah, it's
like,
wild.
And people, I can't remember who it was. When I worked for Yelp, the group that I was working with, like nobody knew about it. So I sent a picture to the group chat, and everyone's like, "That's fake," and I'm like, "Google Tom Cruise."
Yeah, no, it's totally real.
And then just look at it. Anytime he smiles or talks,
it ruins it. Yeah,
and it's like you can't focus on anything else.
You can't unsee it.
Yeah, he could be like, "Hey, I'm going to give you $1 million if you don't look at my teeth." And the first thing you're going to do is like, "Man, I would love $1 million."
Damn
it!
You got me, Tom.
You got me.
Don't jump on the couch this time and get all weird.
It was just, I can't unsee it.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, I'm not even going to edit that out.
My Mexican dinner is coming.
Oh.
It wanted to visit the podcast. Special guest.
Jim's dinner.
Yep.
Oh.
Chicken cheese and there's chicken queso and rice.
The ACP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know your order.
Yeah, but it was homemade though.
Oh.
Yeah, Maggie made it in the rice cooker.
Oh.
So good.
Did you wash your rice first?
Controversial opinion. No.
Papa, no kiss.
So listen, here.
Oh my God.
We were on Team Wash Your Rice because I'm willing to try it both ways. We used to wash our rice, and it got to it was a texture thing, and then one day Megan made rice and didn't tell me, and I was like, yo, that rice was really good. And she was like, you want to know the secret? And I was like, what? And she was like, I didn't wash it. And I was like, wow. So we don't wash our rice, and I'm gonna be honest, it tastes better. Hey, to each their own.
It sounds
Don't
like,
knock it until you try
sounds
it.
like someone cooked it differently that day. And
Nope, because we have an Instant Pot. You add the water, you add the rice, you hit the
I
button.
also have an Instapot,
and
it's like wildly inconsistent.
I don't know, man. Ours, you put in the water, you put in the rice, you give it a quick stir, you push the rice button. Probably 35-ish minutes later, you got fluffy rice. We make white rice, we make red rice. Yeah. Hey, I'm not here to tell you how to make your food. I'm just telling you, try it without washing it. Let me know what you think.
I mean, it's fine, man. Papa no kiss. That's all.
You know what? Papa no kiss me on the rice, but he will appreciate all the other things that I've picked up from him. Shout out to
Uncle Roger
Josh.
will also.
No, Uncle Roger doesn't wash his rice.
Uncle Roger doesn't. Oh,
No, Uncle. That's the whole thing.
that guy is discrediting that guy right now.
Well, that's the thing is Uncle Roger says don't wash your rice, and Josh was like, I don't care. I'm going to wash my rice.
Well, I can't trust that man now. Unfollow.
Which one? Uncle Roger?
Yeah, unsubscribe.
Hi-ya! That's my best Uncle Roger impression.
Unsubscribe.
Damn. I still listen to you, Uncle Roger, and I don't wash my rice.
Sorry, everybody.
You
Didn't
were
mean to
right.
start the podcast on such controversial terms, but we're going to keep going into it.
Oh, yeah, because guess what we have today, folks? In case you don't know, tonight is the Republican presidential debate. Now, we have said before that we are not political people.
Not at all.
Don't really care. Don't really follow it. Frankly, just don't give a shit.
Don't care at all.
Because all of the people that somehow we choose to put into power, they're all old. Every one of them.
75 plus. That's the requirement now.
I mean,
apparently.
when that, what's his name? Is it McConnell?
Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell? When he
Yeah.
just went, for like 30 straight seconds, you should just automatically forfeit your job. If you can't do the thing you're paid for some reason to do, I feel like at that point you shouldn't have your job. Yeah. And then I'm totally gonna butcher names here, so I'm not even gonna try it. But like the one lady, she's significantly older, and she has signed over power of attorney rights to like her daughter or granddaughter or something like that. And so at that point, if you're signing over your rights that you are
Can't make a decision.
can't make decisions right for yourself, like your financial decisions or maybe like your life, if anything like that.
Holy.
But you are still in a position of power, and you have to have your assistant whisper in your ear what you're supposed to say. How is that your
I think
vote?
it's time to replace somebody at that point.
Yes, dude. I mean, I'm not smart enough to know how to fix the problem, but I'm smart enough to recognize there is a problem. So
we
somebody
don't-
smarter
yeah.
than me, figure it out.
Somebody smarter and who gets paid. That's their job to figure that
Yeah.
out. Figure
Yeah.
that out. That's wild.
So
me.
today we have written down the top 5 things that all politicians hate.
I love this list.
All right, so I'll start at number 5.
Love it.
So number 5 on the list of top 5 things that politicians hate: fact checking. And you know what? Frankly, so do I, because it's way funnier if I don't fact check.
That's what you would say unscientifically.
Yeah, unscientific opinion. If I just don't fact check myself, I'm right. And then if I prove myself wrong, well then, damn.
Then you learn from your mistake. That's it. Perfect.
Do I have to learn, or should I just willfully ignore it?
I mean,
That's what they do.
that's an opinion, and that leads into number 4.
Yep.
Politicians also hate other people's opinions.
Fact.
Yeah.
Not fact checked, though.
Yeah, not fact checked, but they just they are right
Yep.
and everyone else is wrong, and that's why no one gets along.
Yep. They just yell and scream at each other. It's insane.
Yeah.
Number 3, top 5 things politicians hate. Controversial opinion. Poor people.
Yike.
The sad part is you really can't tell me I'm wrong, because they do.
Yeah. That's why they're like cutting funding to programs that help people who are in that situation. So you can't tell me that they love them. Otherwise, they'd be throwing money at them instead of foreign wars.
Okay, number 2 on the list. Top 5
2.
things politicians hate. Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Equal rights.
Damn.
That-
What about equal lefts?
They also don't like the left. So
No, like left or equal
yeah.
rights, equal lefts.
yeah.
Just start fucking punching people. Yeah, you know what? We need to settle political arguments and debates battle royale style.
They tried that on January 6th. That didn't work out very well.
True. And finally, the number one thing that all politicians hate: women.
Women.
You know, it's shocking that old men who don't have vaginas or uteruses
Yeah.
want to control people who have vaginas and uteruses. I just I don't get it. I don't know, man. Like, if it's like, this is a terrible analogy, but like, if you don't own a dog, you don't get to tell me how to train my dog. Like, right? Like, it's none of your fucking business how to train my dog, because I have the dog, not you.
Yeah.
So you don't have a uterus. You shouldn't be telling people with uteruses how to fucking use their uterus.
Yeah.
If they do or do not want to make a baby using said uterus, it's none of your fucking opinion, or it's none of your fucking business.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And the fact that if the roles were swapped
Right.
and women were like, all men have to get a vasectomy at 25 if they haven't already had a kid or something, it'd be like,
would support it. What?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but they would be like, absolutely not. You can't tell me to get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
But wait,
Yeah.
do you know what double standards are? Like,
Coin flip. What?
so yeah, you can't tell us that is not accurate, because it is
It is, in fact,
In
not
fact,
checked, but is accurate.
in unfact checked accurate. Yeah.
So, what sort of crazy ideas do you think some of the folks tonight are going to have that they claim that they're going to do if they're elected president? You don't have to name names. Just like, what's something crazy that you think they're going to say that they're going to do?
Oh God, it seems like every time you have either side,
Yeah, so
like talking about it, it's like, I'm gonna say all the things that people want, and I'm not gonna do any of them.
Right? So Biden said he was going to do the student loan thing. That didn't happen.
Sure enough, he tried.
He tried.
But
and
that didn't
Trump
work
said
out.
he was going to build the wall, and he tried. We didn't really do great on that one
yeah,
either.
yeah.
So, you know. And then what did Obama say? He was going to do national health care. Gave it a real good effort. That didn't work out.
That one evolved into something that it does kind of work. It's not.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not there. It's just meh. It's middle of the road.
As somebody who is currently on a marketplace
Yeah.
insurance policy, because my new job doesn't give me insurance till 6 months out.
Yeah.
I had to take advantage of that, and because of the amount of money I made, the credits, it worked out where
You got
it's
a
affordable.
check-ins. You got a savings. It's a whole thing.
You got a credits, so I will say, I think in the beginning that program was a little messy, but it is somewhat better.
It's feasible.
And I do know people who have benefited from that, like
Mm-hmm.
with like certain treatments and stuff like that, to where like without it, they would have been screwed.
Yeah.
So I will say it has definitely helped a lot of people. May not have been perfect, may not still be perfect, but it was a good effort.
True.
Yeah.
All right. So those were the last 3 president big claims. What do you think the next president big claim is going to be?
Oh man.
I think that they are going to say, I don't know.
I think a lot of it's going to be either around like jobs, and
Yeah.
people are going to say things about like middle class or bringing the workforce back to America. It seems like people always throw that in there as like, okay, man, we have 2 minutes and 45 seconds. We need 3 minutes in this speech. I just think you're going to bring the jobs back to America.
Oh, yeah.
Just like pepper that in real fast, and then we're going to be good. We'll tie it up, and then we'll move on. But-
Gas prices are coming down, jobs are coming back to America, and 2 points. That's all we need.
Yeah.
I'll get elected.
So like that reminds me of that episode of Family Guy where Lois was running for mayor.
Okay, yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Vaguely.
So like she was like, if I remember the episode right, she was
yes.
she was starting to like lose her opponent or whatever, and like just go out and say like an empowering
She's
phrase.
like, terrorism is bad.
Yeah, and everyone's like, yeah, and then she's like 9, and they're like, huh? And she's like 11. Ah! People lose their minds. Like that's so good. Like just use like those key phrases. It's it's like the band Imagine Dragons where you pick
It's
like
just buzzword soup.
yeah, it's just like a powerful phrase. And that's like the name of the song.
I think they type in like a Mad Lib generator and they're like awesome keywords to scream over a super cool beat. And then they're like, imagine, and it's like what? Believe.
Like
Radioactive.
Exactly. Yeah. Thunder. Believer. Whatever it takes. Radioactive. Demons. Like they're just looking for certain buzzwords that like sound good, and then that's the song title. It has nothing to do with it.
Nope.
It's like a Fall Out Boy song.
Oh, well, instead of it being like a 14-page novel, it's just
the
one
opposite.
word. Yeah,
It's the opposite. Yeah.
What's your favorite Fall Out Boy song title? Not Fall Out Boy song,
Not Fall Out Boy's song.
just Fall Out Boy song title.
I would have to say, oh no, what was it? I just want to make sure that I say
You
it
get it right.
properly. I do quite enjoy Fall Out Boy. From Under the Cork Tree is probably my
Favorite album?
favorite album. But I would have to say,
What the fuck is Stay Frosty Royal Milk Tea? That is a song. That is a song right here. That's a song by Fall Out Boy. Stay Frosty Royal Milk Tea. What the fuck?
I would have to go with Our Lawyer Made Us Change the name of this song so we wouldn't get sued. That's
True.
probably one of my favorites.
I want to know what the original song
I
title
would
was.
love to know.
We'll have to call up Pete and ask him.
Yeah, just find out.
Hey, yo, Pete. Hey, yo,
Yo,
Pete.
But yeah, back to the election thing. It's just going to be, I think, like most times, just a rinse and repeat of the prior 4 years or 8 years where they're promising the same thing,
Yeah.
touching on a few specific hot
A lot
button
of
topics.
pandering.
Yeah, and then like just kind of hoping for the best. So
What Megan sent me a TikTok the other day, and it says, "Hey, are you ready for this Simpsons prediction?" And it's the one where Homer is like, "Hey, everybody, look at this," and he like takes off the masks of the two presidential candidates, and they're both aliens. and then the crowd's like, or the guys, like one of the aliens is like, "What are you gonna do? It's a two-party system. You have to vote for one of us." And then someone in the crowd's like, "I'll vote for a third-party candidate." And the alien was like, "Good luck with that. Throw your vote away."
oh no. Yeah, I mean, there's probably going to be another third-party candidate that like 1% of the nation get behind.
Can we just write in Harambe?
Dude. Rip.
Let's be real. That is the moment when we officially crossed over into the darkest timeline.
We knew at that point
We didn't know. We didn't know.
No,
but
no,
we know now.
We know now that's the point where something went wrong.
Yes.
We had Harambe. We had Brad's wife getting fired, you know.
Yeah, well, we got Jeff fired last week.
We got Jeff. Yeah, well, you know.
Fuck Jeff.
Can't eat hot
How
dog
you gonna
buns
cut
the
hot
same.
dog buns wrong?
Just messed it up, Jeff.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, guy's the worst.
Dude, I'm still fired up about the hot dog buns.
But yeah, I think that's definitely the point where like things started to seem unreal. Like,
yeah,
you know, that happened. Certain people running for office, and you're like, what is happening right now? And
what's
it was just
going on?
And then
here?
you know, now almost 8 years later, you're like,
Man,
boy, this has been wild.
It's been a fucking while. Is it only been? That was what, 2016?
That was 2016.
Dude, how has it only been 8 years?
8 years.
Oh my! So much shit has gone wrong in 8 years.
In 8 years, wild.
I mean, Harambe died. We had COVID.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all of the different wildfires over in California and now Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not the pizza picture that I sent you today.
Dude, the internet is just such a dark place sometimes.
Dude, they're ruthless, man.
They're so fast.
Yes.
Like, it's like, oh, wildfires in Hawaii. And someone's like, there's a joke here. It's like it's like
And then
that,
it's a burnt
It's like that
Hawaiian
episode
pizza.
of but it's like the episode of Community where like they're talking about like the STD dance or something like that, and then Troy's like, "Hold on, there's a joke here." Like that's people on the internet like, oh, there's this tragic thing that's happening where people. I found out just today, people are literally like jumping into the water like to get away from like the fires, and it's like, holy shit, that's terrible.
It is terrible. I feel like that's a good place to go to get away from fire because
Yeah.
water extinguishes fire, but
Yeah.
it's not a. I mean, we're not
But
making fun of it. It's terrible.
situation
This is a
is
tragedy,
awful.
and it is not good.
I feel like we should help them instead of, other countries. But we're still going to funnel money to places that aren't our own citizens. This isn't a political podcast, but you know what? You know what else we should talk about?
I don't. I mean, I want to say you're wrong, but I can't.
It's the thing. Money, like
It just gets you so fired up.
governments, people, like on the lowest level, right? People a lot of times have their priorities wrong, right? Whether with like
A good chunk of people, yeah.
yeah, like whatever it might be, even if it's like the smallest thing, right? But it just goes up and up and up, and then at one point you have like hundreds of people deciding what is a priority, and they're looking at it a lot of times from like maybe it's like a financial like outcome or like what if we give you this, what are we going to get out of it, instead
Yeah.
of saying, well, these are our people, we should absolutely help them first.
Yeah,
that should be a priority for us.
If there's nothing for them to gain, fuck you. We don't
Like
care.
we should stop putting money into other things while we take care of this, because
Yeah.
this is a big deal.
And it's
So-
like it's home. It's like how is home not a higher
And
priority?
like those people really don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Just fucking swim to California? Like it's really fucking
You
far.
can't just drive to the next state over.
You think?
Yeah. not making a joke in a dark situation, but the show Whose Line Is It Anyway? Do you remember that show?
Everything's made up. The points don't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was one skit, and for some reason, rent free. It was like coming up with slogans for the 50 states, and it was like Hawaii. It's really hard to drive here from there, or something like that. So like, yeah, those people are stuck. They can't just like get in a car and like drive up the highway to the next state and get a hotel for a few days while this all blows over. Like,
They can't
it's-
go to the Winchester, have a pint, and just wait for it to all blow over. That's
there's-
just not how
the
it works.
Winchester is in ashes. They can't do it.
Yeah.
So, boy,
Howdy. We
howdy.
I mean, the U.S. man, we are just a whole clusterfuck of what the fuck.
yes.
Like we've got a lot of problems at one time. And like you said, we really don't have our priorities straight as to like which problem to solve first or which problem is a bigger problem to solve.
I just feel like it should always come down to like helping people first. It's just like it's like anything.
You mean be nice to people? Wild concept. Wild concept.
But it's like anything, right? Like if you own a business, you want to take care of the customer because the customer is going to
Pay you.
come back. They're going to
Yep.
give you money repeated times. They're going to refer people to you.
Yep.
Right.
And they
So,
bring
like,
you money.
Like
yeah.
doing the right thing is always going to pay itself in dividends over like the short-term gain. So like we should be taking care of people in Hawaii who are literally living in the water. They're mermaids now because they don't have a home. They're living in the water. Like that is wild.
Yeah.
Like
It's like that's a brand new sentence, and that's wild.
Yeah, it really is. So like it should be a priority. There are people who literally cannot go back to their home. Their whole island is on fire. We have to take care of this immediately. Let's reallocate funds to that.
Yeah, like wait,
care of people.
let's like why excuse me.
Words.
Why are we not sending boats to go get those people? Like we've got the Navy. Like I mean, like we've got the Navy, we've got the Coast Guard, we've got the National Guard. I'm sure they got boats. Like let's get people mobilized and get them there and start picking up other people. Like I'm sure we are. It just doesn't seem like we're doing it fast enough or well enough.
It's like one of those things where like this situation, it gets like this much coverage and it's this much of a priority. But like one country invades another country, we're going to mobilize troops like real fast. We're going to start allocating money to this real fast. We're going to show them that we're an ally. Like, I get there are things in place to where we do help our allies, right? But like, let's just spend a little less money doing that. Still help them, but put more money towards helping our own country.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again,
wild concept.
We're not in this industry. We're not trained in this, but it's just kind of like from the overview of the whole situation. It's just like, why are we not doing the right thing? Why are we not helping these people? Because that just makes sense.
Yep. And why would we do that?
I don't know, man. I just work here.
Yeah. Hey, look, man. I
just work here.
I don't make the rules. Do you want to return this shit or not? I don't know. Like, what do you want?
Speaking of other things that don't make sense sometimes.
Have you bought a Bud Light recently?
I have never bought a Bud Light or any
Me neither.
Or any alcohol for myself.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you know the Bud Light controversy.
I have read about it online, yeah.
Yeah. It's just wild that, like, regardless of the person that the company elected to have represent their brand, right? Doesn't matter. It's just a person who says, hey, I like drinking this thing. It tastes, I'm not going to say okay. I personally don't like it, but they say it tastes okay. And then there's other people that are like, fuck that person, fuck the company, and fuck you if you like it. Why are you getting so bent out of shape that this one person likes the same drink that you like? Holy shit, dude.
Like, surprise, bud, they were also drinking it before they had made a commercial with it.
Way before they were even, on your TV or anything. And they're like, yo, I like this drink. And now you're like, whoa, I can't like that drink. It's a fucking drink, dude. Chill out.
It is literally a beverage in a can.
I mean, unpopular opinion, it's fucking piss in a can. I think beer is disgusting. Fucking fight me. I don't care. You'll win. I won't fight you. I just talked about this. Like,
I'll drive away.
Yeah, it just. But for someone, I recognize the irony of saying someone's getting worked up over beer, and I'm now getting worked up over beer. But like, how are people just getting this upset over a fucking beer?
I feel like people will find anything to get upset about, and being somebody who's grown up with the internet, right? I feel like people are way more comfortable voicing their opinions online.
Oh, it's anonymity.
Yeah, like they'll do it online all day long because it's from the comfort of their home without any immediate repercussions of what they're saying.
Right.
And a lot of times they see something and they quickly respond. And I'm guilty. I've done this in the past too. Like, you see something, you quickly respond without fully thinking something through.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a lot of what this whole like cancel culture is. Dude, it's
I heard someone say the easiest way to get people on your side is to pick whatever side you're on and absolutely triple down in trying to convince people that it's the right thing. Because so, Trump did it with his beliefs. This is what I believe. This is what you should believe. This is the right way. There's no other way to think about it, right? And then Biden, I'm sure, does the same thing. This is what I believe. This is what you should believe. This is the only way to think, and this is how everyone should think, right? So you have these sides, and then there's everybody in the middle that's like, okay, but I don't believe either.
I don't
of you.
like either of you. This is stupid.
Yeah, and like
that's where me and Jim stand.
Yeah. So the easiest way to get people to like hate each other is to make them choose a side when like really we're all together.
I mean, people think there's only one.
We're all
option
together, right?
Pick.
If we were to stop pointing fingers at one another and we just all collectively said no, what would happen? Just curious, what would happen?
Chaos. No, like
I believe that was what January 6th. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, so like it's
right.
It just seems like such an easy thing, but I think people since the beginning of time, people have always wanted something to believe in, and when they pick that side, they believe in it wholeheartedly, and they will fight you to make sure that
Yeah.
they know that they are right.
And God forbid anyone ever like do some research or even just like look into the point that they're arguing and then they go, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe I'm not right. You know, you don't have to be wrong or right. Or maybe just like I was uninformed. I was just uninformed.
I feel like that's the biggest part of this is like growing up, right? The second chances is always a thing. Like, give somebody a second chance, right? Because people, as everybody should know, like we talked about this when we talked about, you know, oh, when you grow up, like you learn not to shit in your pants anymore. You shit in the toilet, right?
Wild
so like
concept.
you learn, you grow, you adapt to what the norms are, and that's what you should do, right? So it's crazy that people, it's like they don't ever give second chances anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you said this one thing 10 years ago? You are the worst person ever. And absolutely, there's no way you could have changed at all in the last 10 years. You're definitely beliefs all the same.
You're
like,
still a piece of shit.
you're still a piece of shit. But like, whoa, hold on. Like,
but I'm not.
right. But
I promise you I've learned.
Like, dude, that's what they did to James Gunn.
Yeah.
Like, for anybody who's unaware of that situation, James Gunn, I think he did like a comedy thing or something. It was like 10 years ago. It was something like that.
He said the F slur, I think, or maybe
He said something that in, I think it was 2009.
Yeah, a long
It was
time
a
ago.
long time ago. Somebody scrolled back to the depths of Twitter,
X.
whatever, and they found a tweet where he said something.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later, so I think it was like 2019, it was around that time, they're like, you said this? Like,
Yeah.
who do you think you are? And it's like, that was 10 years ago. But like everybody jumped down that guy's throat. And it's like, hold on. That was 10 years ago, James Gunn.
Who else got canceled for something?
There's been so many people. What's her name? Gina something from The Mandalorian?
Yeah, the wrestler chick.
Whatever her name was.
Yeah, she said some stuff, and then everyone's like, yeah, fuck her.
But then a lot of it was because of her support of a certain party. And like, so again, that's not our place to talk about that stuff, whatever. But it's kind of crazy where it's like people are getting canceled because of a belief. Just because somebody is in a place of like they're an actor or they're a social figure, it doesn't mean that they don't have an opinion.
Right.
Yes, maybe
It's just
they
because
should,
you hear their opinion more often because
Right.
they're in the limelight.
right, and then you instantly like they get judged for that opinion, whether whether you are on one side or the other. You believe it's right or you believe it's wrong, and if you believe it's wrong, you are canceling that person.
Yeah, it's
But like, it's wild to me. It's like, man, they're just an actor or they're just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, if you go out as an actor and you start like being super vocal for that thing and like to the point of like, you know, radicalism, then that's one thing.
Right.
But like if you're just an actor in a show and you voiced an opinion, man, that seems a little ridiculous to get canceled for it. Like James Gunn.
Yeah.
He got like
hey man, how do you like Bud Light? I'm not really for it or against it. Oh, so you support blah 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 blah. That's not what I said.
Right.
But sure, I guess I don't fucking know. It's not what I said.
It's just so crazy. Like, what was it? James Gunn got like fired from Disney and Marvel.
It was what, Guardians 2 or something? He almost didn't get to do Guardians 3.
Yeah, almost didn't get to do Guardians 3. And then like months and months go by and eventually they're like, yeah, he's going to do Guardians 3. And then now he works for DC because DC will take anybody. I love DC, I say that, but DC will take anybody. But James Gunn is incredibly talented and he's going to do an amazing job. But whatever. Besides the point, it's like you took what this man said 10 years ago but like prior to that time
with no context either.
right, also with no context, but prior to finding that tweet in the archives of Twitter, you were all about this man.
Yeah.
You were all about Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. You were all about his part in like the whole MCU and all the stuff he was doing, and you were all about supporting him. And as soon as you find out that 10 years ago he said something that some people find offensive,
Yeah.
you're like, nah.
Suddenly,
nah,
it's just
screw
not
that guy.
cool anymore.
It just like, what was it?
Just seems like they take it too far.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to just be like, yeah, you know what, you said some things that I don't quite agree with, so, like, we're not going to be, like, the best of friends, but, like, to just be like, fuck you, you don't have a job, you have no future, you're just a complete, absolute piece of garbage, and you should die in a hole. Like, I think you're taking it a little too far.
Yeah, it's either it's a right or it's wrong. Like, no, there can be a middle. You can not completely agree with somebody, but still like what they do. And
We're still
support
friends,
what
and I
they
don't like
do.
I don't like the community. I don't like New Girl. Well, I mean, I like New Girl, but like,
Yeah,
it's okay,
and it's fine.
You think it's a great show, and you think Community is the best show ever, and I don't, and that's okay.
it's fine to be wrong sometimes.
You're wrong, and it's all right.
But so it's just, that whole thing is crazy to me. And like, cancel culture as a whole, like, what was it? Henry Cavill. Do you ever hear about this? He had, I don't know if it was like a public post or a comment or it was like an interview or something. I think it was an interview, but he basically said like he doesn't like pursue dating actively. This was years ago. Doesn't pursue dating actively because he said he was like an old school like gentleman. Like he believed in like kissing at the end of the first day, like a kiss goodnight or something like that. Like it was something along those lines. Don't quote that directly.
Like a simple, just like, hey,
like courting a woman.
Yeah.
Right. So like basically he's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. And then the next day I wake up and I'm being canceled.
yeah, I get hashtag me too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And he's like, I'd rather just stay at home and play video games. And like, dude, I think there was definitely a time around like that Me Too movement where a lot of people were afraid of even just like the most simple of advance, where before that was brought to more light, it was a normal thing, which is why people say like certain shows wouldn't age well, or like you couldn't make this show in 2023. And it's because of those things where, you know, in 2010, it was, I'm not saying it's okay to say these things in 2010, but you wouldn't absolutely blow up and like ruin someone's career
Yeah.
for saying it. But in 2023,
Yeah, now you
you'd be
say
like,
it, and it's like,
instantly,
you're done, you're
done,
fired, you're gone.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is wild that, like, and it's not even so much, I don't know. It's not even so much that, like, the things are different. Like, it's the same thing that was said then. It's being said now. But now it just has way more of a focus and sort of a, it's like a blight on just what's normal or what's okay. It's okay to say that's not okay. End of story. Like, that's not okay. You shouldn't say that. And like that's it. And like, and then you move on with your day. But to like bandwagon and beat the dead horse and continue to argue and say like, it's not okay to say this thing.
In like starting opinion, like not opinion, starting like surveys or not. Geez, what's the word I'm not looking for? Like petitions. Sorry,
yeah.
Starting petitions. Like, oh, this petition has 160,000 signatures. I have this person removed from this TV show. It's like, man, 160,000 people signing this thing. Like,
Out
hey,
of how many people are in the U.S.? Like, does that really make a difference?
or like a lot of shows are watched worldwide and like
Yeah.
like 7 billion people or whatever the number is. 160,000. No, it's not a lot. It definitely, people should still be heard, but like, man, stop trying to like ruin people's careers just because of a difference in opinion.
Yeah.
If they do something morally wrong,
Yeah,
that's
right.
that's a different thing.
Yeah, like if they did something to someone, or if they caused harm, or did a physical interaction, or you know, like like morally, it's like, ooh, that you shouldn't have done that.
Like the whole Amber Heard thing.
Yeah.
Before I knew like what was actually happening, like all the stuff that came out in the court case, I kept seeing like, oh, petition to have Amber Heard removed from Aquaman 2, and I'm like, this seems excessive. Like, she was in a relationship with somebody and it didn't go well, and like, you want to have her like moved out of this whole series, and like, that's going to ruin her career. And then all the stuff came out, and I'm like, oh, she's kind of a toxic person, and I understand. And it was like, I don't know, man. It's like it's a really tough situation, but
It's a slippery slope. Like where, you know, I'm not saying we shouldn't advocate for everyone's safety, but like, where do you draw the line? Like when is too much too much?
like, did she lose a part? Because I think, if I remember reading correctly, she's not in Aquaman 2 now.
Probably,
Like,
yeah, I think.
so, like, at what point, if she wasn't a celebrity, right?
Would it
she
not
have lost
matter?
her job
Yeah.
for the same thing if it was just like, you know, your next door neighbor
Yeah,
just
so,
having
like-
the same exact dispute?
Yeah, if
would
it
that
wasn't
person lost
Johnny
her job?
Depp and Amber Heard, the same thing happens. Is she losing her job? Is he losing his job? Is he getting no? Like y'all just have a disagreement and you separate and you divorce and like you have a lawyer split up your shit. Like,
Yeah, and then like the whole, what was it, like a defamation suit? It was like millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
because it hurt Johnny Depp's career. So like that part, I can understand. You know, she was saying a lot of things that it turns out to not have been true.
Right.
And that hurt his career with studios and stuff. So like that part, that's wrong. Glad that he won that, and you know everyone's still kind of standing behind him for it. But like, if it was anybody else, they wouldn't have got that same attention.
It wouldn't have been on the news.
It'd have been a day in like the
Yep.
the court, and just like, okay, you get that, get the hell out. And,
Yeah. You guys
next.
like just don't talk to each other again.
Yeah.
But because they're celebrities, we had to focus on them for months. I don't even know how long it was because I did not watch it. I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest. I didn't care.
I mean, I just read like what was on like Facebook and Instagram
Yep.
and stuff like that, just to kind of like catch up on it a little bit.
Saw some
but-
headlines and they were probably clickbaity as shit. Saw some
yeah.
headlines. Didn't really read all the points. So I mean, I'm not an expert on the situation. So
Yeah.
what do I know?
And one other thing I thought was funny when you brought up this topic to me recently was Matt Rife, right? Like everybody loves Matt Rife.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't,
so
I
here's
don't know who that is.
He's the comedian on like he blew up on like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook.
Take your word on it. Go
Anyway,
ahead.
blew up, like sold out a world tour,
Mm-hmm.
like did a commercial with like Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, really?
Like yeah, like blew up.
Okay.
Everybody loves this guy, and everybody they're paying a ton of money to go see this guy. Sold out world tour.
Yep.
When you watch a lot of his videos, it's really funny because he'll say a lot of things that, like, if you were an actor, you would absolutely get canceled. And he'll like, people will boo when he says something, kind of like, oh no, it's too far. And he's like, shut up. What did you expect when you came to a comedy club?
Yeah.
Like,
True.
And it's like, people, I don't know. There are still times when like you shouldn't say things. Things are still wrong. But at another point, like in his line of work, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
Like people can still make jokes and not get canceled.
Yeah. Like
But-
we make jokes all the time. We don't mean them. It's the point of the joke
Like people go to a comedy club to laugh and to like
to hear jokes.
right. Because if somebody was just up there doing knock jokes for an hour and a half,
Yeah, fuck
nobody would pay for that. You go up there because somebody's going to make fun of you and your
Yeah.
race, gender, orientation, and
Nationality, something, yeah.
And the same with the next person, and the next person, and the person in the back of the room on the balcony. It's going to happen to everybody, and it's just
Jokes.
a joke.
Yep.
But he literally, it's so funny to see when people start booing, and he's like, really?
Like, yeah, like you knew what
Really?
you were signing up for.
Yeah, it's crazy because, you know, I was talking to somebody else about this the other day. The term snowflake, like when people called people snowflakes.
It's crazy that the people who call people snowflakes are in fact snowflakes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was thinking about it the other day, and I don't know, man. I get the use of the word, like somebody who can't like take the joke, or you know what I mean. Like I get why that term exists now.
Yes.
Not saying it's right, but I get why the term exists because there are a lot of people that just like 10 years ago, if you had said a certain joke or said a certain thing, it's like, yeah, okay, man, I disagree with you, but all right.
Yeah,
And then it's like,
it's a joke.
But you say it now, they're like, oh, I can't believe you said that. I'm going to put your name on blast
Yeah.
on these 14 forums online. I'm going to run you into the ground.
Yeah, let
And
me
you're-
call your boss and get you fired.
Yeah, it's just,
Oh, okay. I mean, I was joking.
it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
There, again, you should never be intentionally hurtful to people, but if you're making a joke that's like about a certain topic or stereotype or something, that's fine when you know that it is a joke.
Yes.
You are prefacing with like, you're in a comedy club, this is a joke.
Yeah.
This is what you expect. It's not like people are saying, hey, I believe this 100% and this is a fact and this is the only truth that there is. This is real. And then they say something. It's like, man, no, that's not how it works.
That's definitely not how it works.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. I don't know. Again, touchy subject. This is one of the more less funny.
Yeah.
Ha.
I feel like we're going to lose some
Topics.
people here, but that's okay. I mean, we'll gain some people. We'll lose some people here. There's definitely going to be people who...
It's like politics.
Yeah. There's going to be people who listen to this and go, these dudes have no fucking clue what they're talking about. And there's going to be people that are like, I absolutely agree with everything these guys are saying. And that's okay. That's the duality of man, right? Like, again, it's just an opinion.
Just an opinion.
Whether or not you agree with me, totally fine. I don't hate you nonetheless. Or like you any more than I did 5 minutes ago. Like, it's not... We, as a collective... citizen of the United States or human beings on planet Earth, if we just come together and agree that, like, everything is made up, nothing is real, the concept
Points
of...
don't matter.
Yeah, the points don't matter. Like, the concept of money is a made-up concept. The concept of time is a made-up concept, right? Like, if... Think about it for a second. Close your eyes and tell me how much time has passed from now to now.
2 seconds.
2 seconds, right? Okay, so you only say 2 seconds because you were told that that's 2 seconds, right? Prior to time, the air quote time being invented, the same amount of time has passed, but now it has an arbitrary title, right? And then you extrapolate that. Now we have minutes, we have hours, days, weeks, months, years, centuries, decades, right? We have all these arbitrary titles of time frames that existed before titles were a thing, right? Like, everything is made up. Humans are made up. Like, all we are just fucking blobs inside these, what we talked about, sorry, we're just blobs inside bones, inside muscles, inside meat bags, and then we talk. And then somehow we have elected people to be the leaders of the other people. We are all just people.
Leader of the meat bags.
We are seriously just aliens. Like, we are, like, imagine if other societies or universes existed in like, for real, not just like, oh, there's other galaxies, right? Like, those are real things, and we could go to other places. We are aliens. We are aliens just floating through space, and we don't know what other aliens or other non-humanoid beings look like, right? Because everything is just fucking made up. Words, concepts, time, money, like, nothing is real. We are literally just flesh bags existing on a fucking rock, hurling through space at some crazy amount of fucking speed that scientists have figured it out. And we're just here, and we have to fucking show up to work tomorrow, and we got to make the imaginary money to pay the fucking fake capitalist machine that is the fucking world. And then, you know, the people who run the capitalist machine hate the people on the other pieces of land in the world, and fuck them. We're going to blow them up with bombs that we fucking made up, because everything is made up and nothing is real. I'm done ranting now.
This definitely feels like a political podcast now.
Hey, nothing that I said can be attributed to any party.
Yeah.
Everything I said is, I'm going to use the word true, but you know what I'm saying. Like, everything I said is real, but I didn't say that I believe in this person or I believe in that person. I don't follow the allegiance to anything like that. But everything I said, for the, you know, the basic terms of concepts, is real. I nothing I said was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's how things have evolved over time.
Yes.
Like,
fake time.
yeah, over fake time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was a lot to take in.
We're just
But,
people, and we assign these arbitrary titles and I don't even know like what else say, like titles in factualities, and I don't even know what other words I'm trying to come up with. Like,
But I think where you're coming from is there's such a bigger picture.
yeah,
And we just choose to, some people,
hyper focus on such small
certain
details,
things,
Yes.
like a tweet from 10 years ago.
or
All of that
who-
to focus on that.
or who is drinking the beer that I used to like and I don't like anymore, or who or what color is the mermaid that's a fucking fake thing that's not real.
It's a made-up mermaid.
But there was this color mermaid, and now there's this color mermaid. And I didn't use colors, but you know what I'm talking about. And there's people who are fucking pissed about it. And it's all made up. Nothing is real. Why do we argue? Who fucking cares if the sky is one color and the grass is one color, but the mermaid was this color and now the mermaid's this color? What does it fucking matter? What does it matter? Why? Why are we arguing about this? There are bigger fucking problems, but we're going to argue over what color the fucking mermaid is. Oh my God.
People always seem to find something to be mad about when something comes out.
Right? Yeah.
Like, we'll go to a lighter topic somewhat. Like, for example, when a certain video game comes out and it's like locked to like 30 frames a second or something.
Yeah. It's a great game,
People are
but
like,
I can't believe it's only 30 frames a second.
Like, I'm not even going to acknowledge the story and the time that all these people put into making this game and the studio making, because they locked it at 30 frames a second. It's like, but you're not looking at the big picture here. Like,
yeah, that seems like a very arbitrary thing to get pissed about.
Right.
Like, did you even play the game? Well, yeah, it was great. So why are you mad?
I wanted 30 more frames.
But could you count all 30 of those frames when you were playing the game? No, you were paying attention to the bad guy that was shooting you, or you were paying attention to the combo that you were doing, or the cool artifact that you just found, or the sick map that you just unlocked, or the sweet gun skin that you just paid $45 for in the $50 game that you already bought on the $200 console that you paid for, and the $15 monthly subscription that you pay to play the fucking game that you already paid for. Nothing's real, everything's made up.
On your $150 Walmart 1080p TV.
Yeah.
That doesn't even have 60 frames.
Yeah, right. Your TV's not even the fucking same FPS, and you're going to get shitty that the game isn't in the FPS. Nothing is real. Nothing is real, folks. Everything is made up. Everything is made up. Optimistic nihilism. I'm telling you, nothing is real. Everything's made up. We all have to go to work tomorrow. None of us are going to wake up and be millionaires except for the one person who gets lucky and picks the fucking 5 most random ass numbers out of the concept of 3 million to 1, and now that person doesn't have to go to work. Nothing is real. Folks, I don't know how many more times I have to say this for people to grasp the concept. We just exist, and nothing is real. Nothing is real. Everything is a construct.
Hey, Jim, is anything real?
No. Wait, are you real? Am I real?
Is this bottle of Ice Pop Prime real? It is. It's also delightful.
We're in the Twilight Zone, man. Nothing's real. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. Nothing's real.
Man, have you been thinking about if things are real lately?
I want to say no, but I have been.
Because would those thoughts even be real?
Those are real
Made up.
thoughts about things not being real.
But what's a thought but a made-up idea?
A made-up concept inside my fake brain that's not real. Dude, one day I want to wake up, or whatever you want to call it. I want to exit the Matrix. I just want to leave the fucking fake world that we live in and just see what's really going on.
You ever watch the show The Good Place?
I have watched the first 4 episodes of that
Well,
show.
that's not enough.
I
But
know.
anyway,
I've heard it's really good.
it's
I
like
want to watch it.
You just wake up in the good place at the end of whatever this machine dream is.
Fake made up. I want to exit the Matrix, or I want to take off the reality goggles, or I want to pause my Sims game and I want to see the world for what it
Take
really
off
is.
your Meta VR.
Yeah, and I would no longer want to be front row at the Taylor Swift concert. I want to go back to when like things were better and just no one was mad at each other and we were just all having a good time and everybody was like just cool and chilling and everything was fun, and now everything is bad.
Oh, well,
And
that changes when you hit like 16.
Yeah.
And you start paying bills.
Take me back. Bring back Harambe. I'm writing him in on. I'm gonna register to vote. Yeah, I'm not registered. I don't care. After all the shit I just said, surprise, I'm not a registered voter. I don't care. I'm gonna register vote. And I'm gonna write in Harambe. I know it's a castaway vote. Doesn't fucking matter. Nothing's real. Everything's made up. As you can tell, I get very fired up.
On this episode of Midwest Angry Boys,
Yeah. Is it real?
Jim
No.
talks about if things are real. The answer, no.
It may shock you.
The answer at 11.
Find
It's
out
no.
next week on Dragon Ball Z.
What if whenever there was like a news headline like that where it's like the answer will shock you tonight at 11, and then as soon as it hits 11 they're like it's no.
That's it. It's just, hey, the
They
question that we asked
and
earlier,
they just
it's
cut
just no.
and that's it. The newscast is over.
You're like, well, wait, hold on. What's the question? I missed the question. What was the question? The answer was no, but like, what's the question?
What if like the newscast was way more like direct? What if there was no like story building, no filler? Mm-hmm. It's like,
And there's like, local man shoots other local man, arrested by police, charged with crime, and you're like, oh, okay,
and
all
then
right.
like it's gonna be hot and wet today.
Just how I like it.
It's gonna be hot and wet today. The one sports team beat the other sports team. We'll see you tonight at 11 for tomorrow's forecast. It's 11. It's gonna be hot.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be hot,
And
and
there's
the
like-
other sports team is playing tomorrow, and there's gonna be traffic on the road.
Like when you hit like the guide button on your remote and it's like the news and it's like 6 minutes. Yeah. There's not like the news at 5 and it's like an hour long. It's 6 minutes.
Yeah, do you remember when the news wasn't like an all-day thing? We're coming up on an hour, so like we're gonna wrap this up here.
Oh
soon.
yeah. No, I remember when it was like, oh, the news at 5, cool. And then after that it's like it's King of Queens. Or like
And now it's just a 24-hour
the news,
doom cycle.
It's just like I remember whenever like the COVID thing was really bad. It was like July of 2020, and it's like all it was on
Yeah.
any news station ever was that
Fake-
coverage of that.
Yeah, like now I'm not discrediting that COVID didn't exist. I've had COVID. You've had COVID somehow multiple times.
3
I don't
times.
fucking get. Anyhow, right? Like it's easy to be like, oh, it's not real. It's all made up. The news is making it up. Like it was real, but like the concept of humanities and
Nothing's real.
On this week's segment of How Not to Be a Dick, it's
Not real.
Yeah, just don't be real, or be real, and you'll be nice.
Fun
No,
fact: the segment's not real.
the podcast, not real.
Not real.
Jason and I's friendship, not real.
Actually, that's the only real thing here.
Well, we're off camera.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hold his
we're gonna
hand
hold
because
hands.
that's what real is.
Yeah.
For real though, on today's episode or segment of How Not to Be a Dick, honestly, just fucking be nice to people. I know we've said that before, but like it's worth repeating because like it's just people still just don't get it. Just be nice to people.
Yeah,
It's not
so,
hard.
So
It really
when
isn't.
somebody asks you if you can reach something on a top shelf for them at a grocery store, just do it.
Yeah. You know what? Hey man, I got you. What do you need? 1, 2? What do you need? Just be nice. Just be nice.
I would say, the one thing that happens to me all the time when I go to a grocery store, I probably 7 out of 10 times.
That's often.
It's very often. Someone's like, "Oh, hey, excuse me, can you reach that for me?"
Can I? Yes. Will I? For you? No.
Most times I'm like, "Oh yeah, got you." Like, no problem.
Right.
But
Most times. What, do you have told someone no?
so when I had my brain surgery, it was like as soon as I started like driving again, someone's like, "Hey, can you get that for me?" I'm like,
Funny story. Actually, I can't.
so when we were working at Best Buy still, and I came back from having my brain
Far
surgery
too early.
Yeah,
Yes.
I definitely came back too early. But I always remember I would like go see a customer like in computers or something, and they're like, "Yeah, do you have this cable?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's right down there." And they like look at me, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I can't bend over."
Yeah,
Like,
funny story. I can't bend over or my brain will pop out of the
Yeah,
back of my
see
skull.
that giant scar on the back of my head and neck? Yeah, my brain will literally right off the back. So it's that one right there. Look, the little thing is flashing. Just grab that.
Yeah, the one with the blinking
One
light.
with
Get that one.
The blinking light. Just grab that one. And,
I love that feature.
dude, it was such a wild time of coming back to work 2 months too early. But
I tried to warn you. You didn't listen.
I needed
I know
money.
you needed paid.
I needed money.
You needed fake money to pay your fake bills.
Thanks,
In your fake
American
house.
healthcare system.
In the fake country, on the fake planet. in the fake universe, in the fake existence that we all experience. Nothing is real. Everything is made up.
And the points don't matter.
And the points don't matter. The only way out is the sweet embrace of death.
Or VR.
For all we know, that's true. San Juniper. All right, so let's end on a really light note here. Again, thank you everyone for listening to us ramble on about seriously nothing today.
Yeah, I don't know.
We did a whole lot of talking.
I don't know
and
what we
made,
talked about.
We did not make a whole lot of points.
I'm pretty
today.
sure there's been some haters on online who have said the same thing, where they're like, "Bro said a whole lot of nothing."
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Not every episode can be a grand slam, and honestly, hey, sometimes you got to miss in order to make the right shots.
That's right, man.
So,
Baseball's not real.
yeah, nothing is real. What did Wayne Gretzky say about baseball? You take 10,000 shots and you miss 4,000 of them. I don't know. Sports are fake. Nothing is real. Everything's scripted.
Wasn't Wayne Gretzky a hockey player?
That was the joke.
Okay. Are you
says-
surprised that I knew that?
No, because that's a
No.
very common one to know.
Okay.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take is the actual quote. But yeah, I mean, we're
You
not
miss 100 of the pizzas you don't eat.
cucumber slices. I don't know. For real though, we
The
did
analogy's not real.
we said a whole lot of nothing today, and that's okay because tonight, after you listen to our podcast, there's going to be people on the television that say a whole lot of nothing. Do your research, believe in the policies you believe in, vote for the people you think are going to lead the country in the right direction. Be kind to one another. Stay sagile. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, posting. I don't even know what other those that end in ing that you can do on social medias.
Yeah, man, and you have to, I don't know, but you have to believe us because we don't get paid.
Hey, you know what? Those are true words because no one's paying me to tell you what they want me to tell you.
No
So
one's
I'm just
paying
telling
Jim
you,
to tell you that everything's fake.
everything's fake,
So-
nothing is real, everything's made up, points don't matter.
Drew Carey got a great career out of saying almost the exact same thing. So
Almost a great career. I'm pretty sure he had a great career, or has, and he said it first. I'm just copying him.
yeah, man, I don't know.
I don't know. It's got to be something with the Ohio boys. Maybe, dude, how sick would it be if we got Drew Carey on the Midwest Sad Boys podcast? He's a Midwest
Wait,
Sad
hold
Boy.
on. How old is Drew Carey at this point?
Don't tell me. I'm going to take a stab. I think Drew Carey. I'm terrible with ages. I think Drew Carey is 62.
Without looking, I'm gonna say
Yeah, right. It's a lot harder than it to just like off the cuff.
I'm gonna say. How old does he look? He looks like he's mid-60s.
I said 62.
So
That's how old I
60s
think he looks.
Hold on. So mid-60s would be 64, 5, and 6. Let's go Price is Right rules. I'm going to go
Closest
low.
without going over.
I'm going to say 64.
Okay.
Drew Carey age. 65 years old.
Damn, close without going over. You win. Okay, so
Price is Right!
hey, Drew, if you hear this, we want you on the podcast. We'd love to have you as our first guest. And really, anyone's going to be the first guest. We'd love to have anyone as the first guest, whether you're famous or not. This is, there's going to be a quite a bit. We've said a lot of stuff today.
There's been a lot of things said.
Yep.
A lot of words have actually been said.
Some of those words ever were.
And there's a lot of, they're all fake, but, a lot of words.
Seriously, words are fake. Words are just
They're all made
vocal
up.
cord vibrations in very specific manners and patterns that just we've assigned to things, right?
Do you see how I'm just getting Jim agged up again?
Dude, but like we talked about this before. Remember when we were talking about cavemen and the fire, right? Like
Right.
fire, right? All I've done is just vibrate my vocal cords in a very specific manner to say the word
And I
fire,
love-
and now you know what I mean.
I love that somebody was like, no, they knew it was fire.
Yeah.
It's like,
Chill
dog,
out.
they, what? They lived in a cave.
Yeah. And they beat saber-toothed tigers with clubs. Like they
They
didn't
didn't
know fucking
know
words.
what words were. The English language was not created back then.
Yeah, and
they made symbols.
They knew that the cat with the danger kitty with the pointy teeth was gonna eat them, and if they didn't beat it with a stick, then they were gonna die. So like that's just like
Small arm, Bigfoot, lizard, is going to eat them. Don't get close to that.
Yeah, don't let the danger kitty lick you. It's as simple as that. Nothing's real. Everything's made up. Do you want to say anything?
It's so good. It's like at this point I could ask Jim, like, hey, man, is your shirt real?
Technically, yes, but also no, because this is
'Cause
just
it's
all it
made
is.
up.
It's fucking all it is individual threads that have been lined up in a very specific manner, and it has been sewn accordingly to a size. It's fucking fake. Nothing is real.
Just the list of things that it takes to get Jim agged up. Say something's not real. Say something is
But
real.
I'll agree with you. It's not real. Nothing is real.
Just say something's real. But what is real is our love for you. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, following, all of those things. And if you got through this episode and you're like, hot damn, I cannot wait for episode 15.
I promise you it's going to be different.
It's going to be the most real thing that you've ever listened to. Ooh. You like that?
Big claims for next
like
week's
that?
episode. Bold strategy.
I'm actually going to put some time into topics for next week.
Yeah, we kind of had some shit wrote down, and then we really kind of got
Well,
off the
what's
rails.
funny is I touched on all of mine.
Yeah. I mean, we did.
Yeah.
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 I have some good ones for next week. Well, you know what? Next week's going to be a good comedy episode, and we're going to talk about some more shit that's not real. How about that?
Yeah. So on that note, thank you all for listening, for doing all the things that you've been doing online.
The not real things.
All the not real things. It's all appreciated. You're all the best. And we'll catch you next time. Stay mad, apparently.
Nothing is real. Bye.
Bye.